welcome to International TEFL Academy's video on online and on-site TEFL certification courses. My name is Ian, and I will be your host, and today I'm joined with my colleague, Doug.
Hey, everybody. Here's a quick rundown of our agenda for today. We're going to be discussing who we are and what we do, on-site TEFL courses, our online TEFL course, as well as job search guidance.
So who are we? Our staff here at the International TEFL Academy have lived, worked, and or traveled abroad extensively. Combined, we've been to about 80 different countries. There's about 18 of us on staff, and we all are travel enthusiasts. In addition, we have about 20 different professors on staff who each have a master's degree or a PhD in TESOL, linguistics, or other related fields, in addition to years of international and domestic teaching experience. We all want you to love this just as much as we do.
So what we offer is professional training courses for TEFL, which means teaching English as a foreign language.
That's right, Doug. And all of our courses, whether on-site or online, are fully accredited and go beyond all the international standards for TEFL certification.
And now let's cover some information about what the international standards are for TEFL training. If you want to find work abroad, you need to make sure that your training includes each of the following: at least 100 hours of coursework, a minimum 6 hours of student teaching or practicum with real international or ESL students, professional instructors at least a master's level, as well as the course needs to be accredited by an internationally known authority.
That's right. And whether you take one of our many in-person classes dotting the world or our very popular online approach, you will be receiving the same level of quality and service. It is merely a matter of best fit and preference for you. All roads with International TEFL Academy lead to gainful employment with reputable employers abroad.
All right, now let's take a look at our in-person TEFL courses. We offer about 25 different locations around the world and counting. All of our classes meet the standards for international recognition with 100 hours of coursework, at least 6 hours of student teaching, professional instructors at a master or PhD level, and all accredited by an internationally known authority. With all of our classes, we limit them to 12 students or less, and they all are 4 weeks full-time Monday through Friday, with tuition ranging, depending on the location, between about $1,500 to $2,500 US. Also, housing and food will be extra, but we are happy to provide advice on all those options depending on the location you are looking at.
And with locations in Chicago, Thailand, Nicaragua, Italy, as well as many others, it's sometimes hard to decide where to go. We have course locations around the globe to accommodate all of our students. So let's look at some of the many benefits of taking your TEFL course on site. This is an ideal way for students who want to get the course done quickly, as it's only 4 weeks full time. The typical class schedule, as Doug mentioned, is Monday through Friday, typically from 9 a.m. to about 6 p.m. Plus you have to factor in homework in the evenings. All of our on-site courses are capped at 12 students, so you have that live personal interaction with your professor as well as other students. Additionally, the student teaching practice is built into the course schedule, so that will be arranged for you. On-site courses are a great choice if you know exactly when and where you'd like to start teaching after the course. And many students will make the smooth transition from taking the course to working as an English teacher in the same city that they took the class within a 1 to 2 week window.
So here you'll find some pictures of our Chicago TEFL class location. And many of our students like to take TEFL classes throughout the US to get the course done quickly in a classroom environment and give themselves options as to where and when they'd like to go. The following classroom pictures are examples of the learning environment you will have as you hone your new craft of English language teaching. Our classrooms are always buzzing with talk of lesson planning, travel goals, and packing lists.
That's right, Doug. So why don't we hear from one of our alumni who participated in one of our 4-week on-site TEFL classes.
My name is Kristen Plakowski. I'm 28 years old and I am originally from Spring Lake, Michigan. Currently, I live and teach English in Costa Rica. I took the Onsite TEFL course with International TEFL Academy in Chicago. When I was 19 years old, I traveled through Europe with my sister for a month, and that was really my first big experience with travel, and I fell in love immediately and was hooked. I've also done quite a bit of travel just throughout the US, and my boyfriend and I also spent a month backpacking through Puerto Rico a few years ago. My trip in Puerto Rico is really what sparked my interest to teach English overseas. It's something that I had looked into before, but I had never committed to. And when we were on our trip, we met so many people who were traveling for extended periods of time. And I realized that travel didn't have to be something that I did 1 week or 2 weeks or even 3 or 4 weeks a year. It's something that you can choose as a lifestyle, and there's ways to fund it. I chose the International TEFL Academy because they had so many great reviews online, lots of Q&A and lots of information about different countries, different video Q&As like this one. My training at International TEFL Academy has helped me so much in my job that I have now. A lot of my lessons are laid out for me in the sense that there's certain key vocabulary we have to go over and certain structures that have to be covered each lesson. But if you just read from a book and you just recite everything that it says, it's incredibly boring. And if the students are bored, they're not going to pay attention. And if they don't pay attention, they're not going to learn anything. So the activities and the games that we learned have been extremely helpful. I chose Costa Rica for a number of reasons. First of all, I knew that there was a really large job market here, and for my first job overseas, I felt more comfortable going somewhere where I felt pretty confident that I could get a job. When I first arrived in Costa Rica, I started my job search by simply doing a Google search of schools in Costa Rica. And then I sent out emails and resumes to probably about 15 of those schools. I heard back from about half of them within a week and set up 2 interviews, and I got offered both jobs. I work for 2 different companies, Pro Language and In Lingua, and they both specialize in business English. So I travel to the companies and teach my students on site. There's also a number of things to do around the country. There are 26 national parks. You can do everything from horseback riding to whitewater rafting, hiking, camping, surfing, lying on the beach. You name it, you can do it here in Costa Rica. There's an endless list of activities.
And now let's take a look at our online TEFL course. The TEFL class is 11 weeks long part-time, with the average student dedicating between 10 to 12 hours per week to the class. The course itself is constituted of 150 hours of academic coursework with an additional 20 hours of live practicum teaching. The practicum teaching will be done within the students' community with real ESL learners. The course itself is taught by professional instructors who have at least a master's degree and oftentimes a PhD in TESOL, and the course itself is accredited by an international known authority. Class sizes are small, typically capped at around 20 students, and it's a very interactive class with discussion groups, videos, live webinars, live office hours to communicate with your professor, and peer discussion forums. The course tuition is $1,350, and that covers all of the required content for the class.
In regards to the practicum, the student teaching you will complete with the online course will be done local to you. We provide assistance with locating ESL classrooms for your practicum and even have a document with preferred practicum locations of organizations that are looking for our students to volunteer. But you may be surprised by the options that pop up even by doing a simple Google search for ESL classes in your area. Here are some of the benefits of taking your course online, which make it the most popular option for our students. This is the most cost-effective route to teaching English abroad, as the tuition is generally about $500 to $700 less than taking an in-person TEFL class. The online course is part-time, and it usually takes about 10 to 12 hours each week, and it is not taught in real time, so you do not have to log in at any particular time during the week. This method will also provide you the flexibility to apply and interview for teaching positions in a variety of countries and regions around the world. The part-time schedule allows you to even begin the process of your job search while you are still taking the class, if you wish to condense your departure timeline. This is ideal for countries that offer in-advance interviewing via email, over the phone, or via video chat.
That's right, Doug. And many of our students like to take the online course because it allows them the opportunity to continue to work or go to school full-time while completing their TEFL certification. And the online TEFL class itself meets the same standards and is recognized the same as any one of our 4-week on-site courses.
And now here's a video of one of our alumni that took our online TEFL certification course.
I'm from San Francisco, California. I have a bachelor's degree in secondary education, and I also took the online TEFL course through International TEFL Academy. I am currently living in Santiago, Chile, teaching English. I knew once I graduated that I really wanted to be out and about as much as possible. I wanted to travel in a way that allowed for immersion and really experiencing culture and new places in a way that tourists and sort of 3-day vacations in one city don't allow. I spent a long time really researching where I wanted to get my certificate. I knew that I wanted to have a lot of support, and I wanted to have a company that was going to help me get to where I was going to be, and also do a good amount of training. My degree is actually in education, and so I've had a little bit of experience in that, but I really wanted a school that was going to give me the building blocks I needed to be a good English teacher. And that mixed with the International TEFL Academy's Career Center, which has been amazing and very helpful throughout my entire process. I really felt supported, and that they were a school that was going to help me get to where I needed to be. So I'm currently working for Bridge, which was the only company I ended up interviewing with. I was very, very lucky. I am working with business professionals, so I get to actually tour around the city of Santiago and see different places, because I go out to the businesses where my clients work, which is really great because I get to travel and I get to see the city a lot more. I get to get used to using public transportation and just seeing sort of the inner workings of a lot of major businesses that I would never get to do if I was just working at one institute in that building all the time. I try to get out as much as I possibly can in the city. I know that since I'm living here for the next year, I'm sort of taking things a little slowly and really just sort of taking in the culture and the atmosphere of the city as best I can. I want to get out and do things, but I don't want to overload myself with museums every single day. So I get to a museum once a week, and I try to try out a new restaurant every week, and I try to cook a different dish as often as possible. I'm also really interested in photography, so I try to walk around and take as many pictures as I can. And there's this huge new landscape that's available to me here now that I can really experiment with the colors and the vibrancy of the people, and just the atmosphere is very different from home, so it's something to really work with.
So now that you know more about your TEFL certification options, here's some more about how we assist you in finding a job as an English teacher abroad and making this adventure a reality. In addition to your TEFL advisor, you will also be able to work with our Student Affairs Department, whose job is to assist all of our graduates in finding employment abroad. They will assist you with everything from your resume and cover letter development to interviewing procedures and preparation, contract review, visa information, and then ultimately the most important thing is providing you with the actual contacts and resources necessary for you to get a job as an English teacher abroad. You'll receive our International Directory of Schools, which is a worldwide language school directory that hosts tens of thousands of language schools in it. You'll gain access to a few hundred online job boards, where you'll not only be able to apply for jobs in different regions you're interested in, you'll also have the opportunity to post your resume to have schools and recruiters reach out to you directly. Also, we do have relationships established with some of the most reputable recruiting agencies out there. And so you have every resource you need to be successful as an English teacher.
That's right, Ian. And another great perk of being an International TEFL Academy student and alum is to join our Alumni Association. With over 2,000 new alumni each year, we have graduates all over the world teaching, traveling, and sharing their stories. Once you're an enrolled student, you can join our general alumni group as well as country-specific groups on Facebook. Here pictured, you can find some of our alumni meetups all around the world, as well as pictures of some of our alumni in different locations. You can start reaching out to graduates that are currently abroad, as well as our current students that plan to depart soon. Get involved, make some new friends, or plan to meet up for dinner or drinks with fellow graduates.
All right, and so here are some steps on what to do next. First, talk with your advisor. They'll help you figure out where to go, when to go, and also how to get started. Once you've developed a plan with your advisor, the next step is to get TEFL certified. As you just learned, the certification can take as little as 4 weeks, but up to 3 months if you participate in our online TEFL class. After you're an enrolled student, you'll be able to start your job search and plan for your departure with our Student Affairs Department. This process typically takes between 2 to 3 months. So the moral of the story, start planning at least 6 months in advance.
And here's what you need to do now. Talk with your advisor and set up a plan for this whole process. Get TEFL certified, then go teach and see the world.
So thanks for watching International TEFL Academy's video on online and on-site TEFL certification options. If you have any further questions or would like more information and resources, please feel free to reach out to your advisor. If you have yet to be assigned an advisor, call the number below and talk with someone directly. We're more than happy to help make this a reality for you. Thanks and have a great day.